the so-called Department of Government Efficiency that really is the Department of Government Efficiency for Elon Musk, not for you.
War on waste. At the DOGE Oversight Subcommittee hearing, we heard some strong stances from the very start. More scrutiny on the temporary agency is to be expected. And joining us now is Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee, who was there at the subcommittee meeting this past week. Representative, always good to see you. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you, Natasha. It's a pleasure being here with you, ma'am.
Subcommittee Chairwoman Marjorie Taylor Greene vowing to fight the war on waste. What did you take away from the DOGE Oversight Subcommittee meeting this past week?
Well, I thought it was very informative. We had the Democrats, of course, spent all their time attacking President Trump and Elon Musk, and the Republicans, I felt like we asked legitimate questions about the waste, abuse, and overspending of our government. $36 trillion in debt. You can't get past that. And, we're getting a lot of complaints from federal employees that are saying that they have to show back up for work, that they still haven't been going back since COVID, things like that. So there's a lot going on behind the scenes, and I think the name calling and everything else will continue, because that's the Democrats are chasing their tail right now. This DOGE thing, it's uncovering a whole lot more than that. It's billions and billions of dollars that we're sending to terrorist organizations, and you got to wonder some of this money if it's not flowing right back into the back pockets of some politicians in Washington. And I think that's why the #1 search this week on the Washington area computers was criminal defense attorneys.
Tell me more about something you just mentioned. Which terrorist organizations and what monies have we been sending to them?
Well, actually, I have a bill to stop it. The Taliban gets $40 million a week that we know of through aid. And Congressman Perry actually brought forth some more where we think it's in the billions of dollars to some of these terrorist organizations. And and the money's not really being laundered that well. The bills that I have deal with, we're sending money, so-called aid, but as you know, money is very fungible. It flows into their bank accounts, and then they are forced to turn over a cut off the top. The Lord just takes 10% out of the top with tithe. Mob takes a good chunk when they do it, but the Taliban, they just get theirs right off the top, right out of the bank. So, and we couldn't even get Chuck Schumer and the Democrats last go around when he was in charge. We couldn't even get them to bring the bill up. It passed unanimous in the House. So there's a podcaster named Sean Ryan out of Nashville area. He's a former Navy SEAL, CIA operative, and he brought that to my attention through another fella named who's goes by the name of Legend. He can't go have his full name because of obviously Taliban would like to kill him. And as my conversation last week with former president over there told me that there's over 100 Taliban members in our country right now that have come in illegally. So we've got to really be careful.
Okay, a representative, with the time we do have left, I do want to get your take on an important veteran story. NewsNation ran this exclusive investigation on Area 51 veterans who are doing top secret work on the Nevada Test and Training Range. They are developing cancers, they are getting sick, developing tumors. The DOD keeps them classified so they can't get the benefits and the care they need. What are your thoughts on this NewsNation investigation?
It makes me angry. It's news to me, and I'm going to go after them. And I want to thank you all at NewsNation. Again, your reporting is beyond reproach, and I thank you for bringing that to my attention, because that is not acceptable. My daddy fought in the Second World War, and those guys at Oak Ridge and those other areas that ended up dying horribly from cancer because they were doing the right thing and helping us in the war by their development skills. Those guys died just like my dad's buddies who died in the Pacific, his Marine Corps brother, and that died alongside of him. So I'm going to go to work on that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you. Representative, what are you committing to do to help these veterans?
Well, I'd hope if they see my name and see this article, they'll get in touch with me. And I don't care. I don't care what enemies I make, especially in the Department of Defense. The war pimps over there, their business is war. They like war. They like and it fills up people's bank accounts through these missile defense contracts, and Congress been involved in that as well. They own stock in those companies. So I'm going to get to the bottom of it, and I'll embarrass somebody. because that is just not acceptable. Those men and women, they sacrificed their lives. I know exactly what they were probably doing was disposing of waste and fuels, probably in burn pits, and they have cancer because of it, and that's undeniable. And we need to take care of those folks.
In light of the NewsNation investigation, what is your message to the DOD tonight?
Y'all better do what's right, because there is a new sheriff in town. His name is Donald Trump, and I dare say he is going to let any of our heroes go without because of our mistakes we've made in the Department of Defense.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen, and don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.